Hello, I am getting ready to put this picture that I created from watercolor in a frame. So I'm getting ready to do that right now. And I'm just preparing the frame here so I can get the measurements to put just trying to take the stickers off the frame. Okay, so I'm just taking the glass part of the frame here. This will help me to know how to cut this. Let's find my pencil. Okay. I'm just going to do this the best I know how. This is a watercolor painting that I want to frame. So I'm going to cut accordingly. Actually, I'm going to cut outside of those lines. Let me make sure that I don't cut it way too close. And I'm rethinking this paper that I did the watercolor on. This paper is a mixed media paper, but I noticed there's a little, it's kind of waffly. So I went and purchased some watercolor, specifically watercolor paper. And I'm thinking of that problem of the wobble in the paper due to the water in the paint will go away with the watercolor paper since it's designed for watercolor. So I'm going to take a look here. And that's probably going to be too large for the frame, so I'm going to cut it down some more. Now I'm getting really close to those lines I created. You know, I think if we take the time to paint something pretty that we like, it's important to get a frame, put it in a frame, and put it somewhere so you can see it and enjoy it since you spent the time on it. All right, I'm just trying to pull this label off the back of this, and it's stuck on pretty good. All right, so through the pieces of my frame, I wasn't sure what color frame to buy, so I just bought one. I just bought a black one. They were on sale, so I got it. So this, and really this is my first time framing something, so I'm not a professional at this framing. I'm just going to do the best I can so that I can enjoy the painting that I created. I'm going to wipe this glass off. I'm going to get something to wipe it so it's really nice and shiny. I'm not going to use any water. Since I'm dealing with watercolor painting, I don't want my painting to smear because of any water at this point in the game here. So just getting this really nice and shiny. Okay. Now, so this goes back into the frame. Okay. Now, okay, so I'm way over. I'm going to have to take more off and cut more off. So, I got my marks. I just didn't want to fall short, so that's why I'm going to do a little more. Here. Okay, that line is right there. So let's try it now. Okay, so I'm still over. So I'm going to have to cut a little more. Now I'm going to keep measuring this because I do not want it to go too far over. Okay, it's a little bit too long at the bottom here, so. Cut a little bit of the bottom off. And that should land me. There we go. Perfect. Put it back on. I'm just going to flip and see what I have. Oh, okay, that's looking nice. So I drew this for you who are just now coming in. I drew this yesterday. I didn't draw it yesterday, but I painted the paper yesterday with watercolor, green, pink, and kind of a gray. And then this morning I drew the plants, and it's like a flower tree where the leaves are falling, and then there's a cat at the bottom that's running through the gray part, which just kind of reminds me like of a beach, or some dirt there at the bottom. The cat is kind of making its way through because it's windy. That's why the cat is kind of looking with its eyes almost closed because it's windy. And then there's a bird that's flying. And so I wanted to preserve this for myself because I really didn't enjoy it. And so I went to the store today and I bought a frame. And this is just a little cheap frame that was on sale, but still it protects my painting, and it allows me to put it in a place here in my home so I can enjoy it. And so that's what I cut down. I was just cutting the paper down so it would fit into the frame. And now I'm just simply closing the back of it. And so I'm going to place this somewhere in my home so I can enjoy it. Now, the paper that I painted on, I decided to change paper. This morning I was online and I painted this paper for another a picture, but see how it's wobbly? It's been wrinkled. Now this paper it's a media mix, meaning you can use acrylic paper, you can use acrylic paint, or you can use watercolor paint. But I don't like this, so I'm not going to be able to use it. So what I did, I bought some paper, a tablet of paper that is designed specifically for watercolor. So I'm going to have to redo this because I'm not going to draw on this with all my time and focus, and it's wobbly like this. So this paper is the same type of paper. is on the same type of paper. This picture is on the same type of paper, but because it was small, I was able to cut it down and kind of get around the waffles or the wavy part. So I was able to preserve this, and I was grateful for that. But I'm not going to use this anymore for watercolor. All right, so this is specifically watercolor paper. So let me get set up because I'm going to go ahead and prepare this the way I did this for my next drawing. I'm going to lift this so you can see it better. Okay, and so let's get the watercolor ready. And of course with the watercolor, you need to spray it. I even spray my paper so that the watercolor becomes moist. I'm going to use the same colors pretty much. I'm going to start with the blue. And see, that even feels better. That's going on a lot better. The paper came in a tablet, so that's why it's okay. Now with watercolor, the more water you use, the lighter the paint, and the easier it glides in the water. If you want the color to be darker, you use less water. So I'm trying to get several different colors in. But I do see a big difference between this paper and the other paper I was using. Okay, so now I'm going to use a yellow. I want to get more water. So I get my water here. Okay. Putting more water onto paper. There we go. And then I'm going to use a pink after this one. And of course I'm switching brushes as I go from paint to paint. I switch brushes because I don't want the colors to be, I don't want to mess up my color palette, and I don't want, I want my colors to be as pure as they can be. If they run into each other, that's fine. That's watercolor. That's the beauty of watercolor. But I'm not going to use, one brush for all this. I'm going to use a different brush for different paint. I was watching some folks online, and they were moving through it so fast, I was wondering, did they change brushes? So that's something that I was just curious about. But I really do like the pink. So on my channel, you will find lots of videos on cats and birds and um, watercolor and acrylic paint. I have lots of videos, and I've been going live recently more than usual. I'm just learning about going live. It's a good experience. And it's helping me really to grow and learn more about YouTube and what are the different options that we have on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and take a look at some of the other videos that I've done. And if you like what you see, recommend other people to look at some of the live videos and to subscribe. I really appreciate the support. I do watercolor, acrylic paints, and I'm learning more and more all the time about the different paints and different techniques. And I do it because I love color. I just love color. I love working with color. So it's like a really way to relax after a long day of work, to come in and be able to pull out your colors. Okay, so again, I'm preparing this to paint later. This is what I did this morning. Actually, yesterday I prepared the paper with the green watercolor, pink, and gray watercolor. And then this morning I drew the cat and the flower trees and the bird. And I decided that I wanted to keep this for my own personal use and place it in my home. So I went and got a frame. And earlier I framed it. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but hopefully you can see this. I noticed on the first live video it was a little hard to see the cat, but the cat's right there. Can you guys see the cat? I'm just going to check my... Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. I read the comments, and if there's something that you would like to see me paint, let me know, and I'll see about painting that. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I pretty much covered what I wanted to cover today, to share with you guys what I do when I'm preparing the background of my paintings, so that I can move on to the next step, which is to draw. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on here. I have some ideas. We're getting into fall, so it'll probably be something that lines up with the fall. Thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please remember to subscribe. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.